about that. Hello, everyone. All right, here we go. We're podcasting and video at the same time. I'm back. It's been away, but I've been very busy. You know, when you don't see me, I'm very busy. Very, very busy. I've downloaded an app that will help me make video edits. Microsoft used to have something called Movie Maker. They don't have it anymore. Well, they have it, but they're charging you now. It was a nice, easy editing program, but I found another one that has a free version, and I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna take my little screenplays that I write, add some photos, and try to do some editing and try to do some motion and make sort of like a crude animated visual something. We'll see how it works. And then I'm probably going to put most of that behind a paywall. Maybe I'll do one behind a paywall, one not, like I do these videos. We'll see. This sounds good. I'll probably do that. But today we're going to talk about, and I'm going to use this video for my support group on my Patreon page. I found this nice one here in the library. And I got to say, the New York City public library system is wonderful. It's a great system. This Queens Library Central Branch, off the chain. Let me show you what I got from this branch. Okay, yeah, sure, I got this. All right, no big deal, Marching Masters. But I'm doing a course and classes on this one here. I wanted to write a book like this, and look what I found. And for those listening, you don't get to see it. There's a book called Black Southerners in Gray, about Black Confederates. And I'm telling you, man, I'm about a quarter through the book. And at first you just get angry, like, man, how could these black people be like this? But then you start looking around at black people today and you say, yeah, well, you know, hey, these people always existed. And I'm not talking about Clarence Thomas types. I'm talking about these people. But they're around today. And some of them are the ones black people love the most. But we love being brutalized and I don't want to say brutalized. And should I say not enslaved? That's not what I'm saying. But we seem to like or seem to have some kind of desire for, hold on, or affinity for being the underclass. I think we think it's noble, or we think it's makes us tougher. That's what it is. That's part of it. Oh, we're tougher because we're the underclass and we still do this and we still come out at it. Well, you know what? I'm tired of being the underclass. Let's get some justice. Because this injustice, so I can be a man. I'm a man. I get crucified and brutalized every day, and I'm here. I'm a man. I think that's the dumbest shit, but that's what we're doing. And please, now I know I'm not the hardest brother. I know that. I understand that. But how come you brothers can kill each other, but you can't take on no systems? You can't take on no institutions. Now, I could take on systems and institutions. I get crushed because I'm usually by myself doing it. But I'm supposed to not be this. I'm supposed to be on the soft side, but I'm taking on institutions and systems, and you brothers are just shooting each other or ordering your minions to kill each other. And our women are co-signing this crazy shit. They love it. Brothers like me don't want to be bothered. But the manly men who just get brutalized all the time and come through the brutalization and come in and take care of their women. Ooh, ah. I don't know. We've lost our minds. My community's lost its mind. But this is a good book, Black Future. And with the attitude we have, I'm not sure we're going to have a future, to be honest with you. And if you think I'm just being over exaggerating, think about how many people in your family has passed away in the last couple of years of all different ages. Just think about it. Or people that you know in your circle, right? Okay. For those of you listening on the podcast, I can't pronounce the name, but it's a piece called America is Black. It's a mural on the wall, and it has all different kinds of people, and it says America is Black, America is Native, it wears a hijab, it is a Spanish-speaking tongue, it is migrant, it is a woman, it is here, has been here, and on the bottom in larger writing it says, and it's not going anywhere. And so I'm going to leave this here while I talk so that people watching on video can enjoy the picture, the art. The art in this is good. The pictures, the photos are good. So we have to ask ourselves, are we going to actually take on, I don't even mean take on, but build new institutions, new systems so that we can function in the new world? That's basically the question when it comes to Black people. Now, I've done it. I created the Connerson Center. You can get it on my Patreon page, patreon.com/Connerson Center. Everything is there. Some of my work is in my Etsy shop, where you can find links to my classes and courses. I'm on Udemy teaching. So I'm building institutions on these platforms. I thought about getting my own website, but I don't get enough support from Negroes to get that. So I'm not going to spend that money. When I start getting support from people, no doubt I will. I'm actually in the verge of getting ready to write some proposals to try to see if I can get some funding, because there's a lot of funding out here. So we'll see about that. And I built an institution. I built a school. So you don't have to send your child to school. The Connerson Center has 3,000 pieces of content from over the years, because I've been collecting this content and been doing Patreon for a few years. But I just recently created the Connerson Center, creating an LLC for it, because the accountant that I had from another business said that I should do that. So I did it. Okay, so you can go to the Connerson Center and places like that and have your child be educated, and you can be educated, or you can send them to the pipeline to prison where their brains are raped every day. It's your choice. I feel sad for your children if you don't make the right choice. And let me just say this. They don't want your children at school. That's why they tried to give you dumb Negroes remote learning. But you idiots didn't get it. So you had a chance to stop the miseducation, keep it there, keep the remote learning, get with those of us who know. We could have helped you with the children or with the young people, but you chose to try to go back to systems that even your oppressors don't want anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I know everything is chaotic now, because I think that the ruling class was really sure that if anybody would like the Great Reset, it would be Black people. Of course, we finally would have some space, some breathing space, but they underestimated, and even I underestimated, so I'm an idiot too, how much you love being oppressed. How comfortable we are at the bottom of the hierarchy. We think it's noble. We get something out of it. And I just think it's the damnedest thing. But it is, of course, it's just insanity. Now, the good part is we all dealing with mental illness. We do understand that we have mental health issues, and we're talking about it. Now, maybe it'll be another 3 years before we actually started moving on that. I mean, a lot of people are getting therapy, but therapy works like this. You go see a therapist, and then you do the mental work. I know that a lot of us are just going to see the therapist to talk to somebody. And sometimes that's all you need is somebody saying to talk to. I know that. Somebody who's connected to some kind of reality to talk to. Because you're usually surrounded by people that are so deep in fantasy and delusion that you do need that. But you're going to have to do some mental work. All of us. I make videos now while I'm dealing with my anger and my bitterness. I have a lot of it. It's justified, but it's not good. And it's not going to get me anywhere. It's just going to zap all my energy and shorten my life. I don't really care about the shortening the life part that much, but the energy, I want to have high energy until my last day. Which the way this society is going might be in the next few years. But I want to do as much as I can until then and leave behind something. And to go along with this picture, with this art, I question, will we be here? Will we be here in any numbers? Will the same old Jim Crow Negroes be here in the United States? And if not, let's say the majority of the black people in the United States become African migrants, West Indian migrants, and they make up a majority of the population. And things get so bad here, and most of those people just go back home. What would America look like? Would the old Jim Crow blacks be like the Native Americans? Just be like 2 million of us in the whole country? 3 million of us in the whole country? It could get like that. So it's a question mark. And it's always up to us. Because the one thing I can say about black people, and I know I call them dumb early, but we're really not dumb. We're really not stupid. We don't really need a political education. We don't need that. We know what the reality is, but we're not interested in it. We want to do our little small piece. We want to be in bubbles, and we want to, well, I shouldn't say, some of us are idiots. Let's just put it that way. We do have some morons in our community, like every community. But for the most part, we know what we need to do, but don't want to do it either because we think it's going to be too hard. But at this point, you really don't have a choice. Because even if you go to another group of people, you're going to have to make major contributions. And if your mind ain't right, they're not going to want you either. So that's fine. And like I say, when I see mixed race people, I say, good for you. Because why should people say, I suffered my whole life trying to be part of a community that just doesn't want to be one. Even though nature says you're one, doesn't want to behave like one. And I it was a big mistake. I was moronic for doing that. I lost everything doing that. So, but I'm still alive, so you still keep going. But it's sad days. It's depressing days for me. But I'm trying to create, and like I said, I haven't been on the podcast in a while because I'm really, really doing a lot of work. Trying to leave behind some writing, some thinking, and a record to show people that all of us weren't conforming to madness. And so I did that. And I don't know, I hope that this multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-tribal, if we could do something that I don't know if I read this, but cooperative tribalism, because I don't think you can get out of tribalism, or because we all different groups, but we're different groups of human beings. And I think we need to understand that and need to keep that in the forefront of our minds. So I hope that we can do that. Every once in a while I see evidence that we might do that, but the overwhelming majority of the time I just see savagery and low behavior from people who know better. And I know they know better because sometimes I talk to them. Sometimes I listen to them. And when you bring them over into sanity, they like it, but they don't function there most of the time because nothing around them functions there or had functioned there for the longest. And one more thing, Black people were rewarded for being pathological. And even today, cities are going broke funding Black pathology. For instance, it costs $300,000 per prisoner in Rikers Island in New York City. But the city would rather spend that than to give a 20,000 UBI a year so that Black people could at least have a floor. No, they'll lock us up and give $300,000. To go to prison is like $500,000 per person per year to lock up a prisoner. You know how many Black men are in prison? And here's the thing. That's just New York prices, but prison is very expensive. And I remember a report, and this was years ago, so this might not even be accurate anymore. Probably more than this. Well, it might be less. Might be more. There were 7 to 9 million Black men in jail, prison, on probation or parole. So it's only 40 million Black people. So just think about that. 7 to 9 million Black men. And that's not counting the women. Which the women is not a lot. Well, that's a growing population now. Even though it's not a lot of them, they're growing. Because they're trying to treat as the Black men are dying out or nodding out on the corners, they're treating the Black women like they used to treat us, locking them up in cages, making them do slave labor and all of that. So we need more institutions, and I encourage all of you listening to this, or the few of you listening to this, start some institutions, start some organizations, at least leave a record. Use your social media for that kind of stuff. Push it. You know, we all like to have fun, and I like to have fun too. Trust me, I do. I know these videos might sound like, but I love to have fun too, and I love to laugh and all that stuff like that. By the way, let me admit, there's a new comedian, I think Josh Johnson. Really funny. I think he's the future. I think he's the one. So yeah, I like to have fun and all of that too, but if we are going to survive and function in any way, we're either going to have to develop institutions and systems that we can use and function, because you don't function in a complex society as individuals. You function as members of systems and institutions. That's how everything gets done. And institutions don't have to be large. It could be, well, with technology, it could be me and a few supporters. And I mean few. So let's try to do it. What else are we going to do at this point? Let's enjoy the Great Reset. Some people are calling this the third Reconstruction. I like that. Let's make it work this time. Let's push on through. Let's make it difficult for people to organize around injustice and give another 100 years of brutalization, which I don't think we would last, because with modern technology, you don't need as many people. So why would the ruling class tolerate foolishness for the next 100 years? So let's just stop being foolish. We know how to do it. We're capable. So let's get interested. And you can support me by giving directly, supporting the platforms and the links, or becoming a sponsor. I appreciate you. Take care and be safe.